Hey all, welcome back to my tutorial. I hope you're all having a good day as usual. And as I promised, this is going to be the second half where I explain to you how to do the final master to your mix. And before going forward, I'm sure you already have listened to my backing track that I posted before. But if not, I'll just give you a sample of what we're going to be mastering. And then you'll have an idea of a reference of what we're trying to do. Now, this is just going to be through the microphone of my headset. So again, it's not the final master. But if you want to hear the final master, there'll be a link down below. Also, you'll see that in the cards. So this is the what we're going to mix. All right. So it doesn't sound as good because I'm using a small portable speaker just to get the sound. But like I said before, you'll see the link to the final master and it sounds great. So here's what you need to know when mixing or mastering. Um, if you don't have studio grade equipment, it's never going to sound 100% really. The goal is to get it to sound as close to, you know, the professional studios as much as possible. And sometimes you can get away with it. It all depends on your playing ability, and it all depends on your mixing and mastering skills. And some people might have a background in audio engineering. I'm fortunate to have some background in that, and I've also been taught by other people who have that experience. But for you, if you're just up and coming, I might understand that you don't have the equipment necessary. So, just go step by step with it. You can buy small equipment like, headphones and speakers at your house if you have some, and try to reference through other songs that you hear. You might hear another song that you like, and based on that song, you want to mix your song to sound close to that, and you'll get better at it each time. Even I myself, I'm still learning, and I'm getting better with my mixes. It's um, it's sort of like wine. You know, wine gets better with time. So that's how your mixes will be as well. Just keep experimenting with different things. So, like I mentioned, try to have a song that sounds like ideal to what you would want your song to sound like, and then just compare each instrument to the mix that you have as the reference. So just since we're doing compa music, I would say stick to the genre. So if you're doing a master for your compa, just take a compa song and then compare that compa to what you're trying to mix and see if those levels line up. And if not, that'll tell you what you need to work on. And, I would say start off with your kicks, especially your basses, especially, and then just go from there. All right. So, first thing is on the Phantom, we're going to go to our effects panel. Okay. And this is where all of our effects are routed. And in the previous tutorial, I told you that I did have busing enabled. So this is where I had all my buses. So whenever I talk about chorus and reverb, this is what I'm talking about. I have delay programmed under chorus, and I have a studio reverb routed under reverb. Okay, and all of my instruments are passed through here. And I also have a EQ. Um, I have two different EQs, one for my mix and then the other one is for my mastering. So the equalizer, I have it for all of the instruments, and then some instruments pass through the effects, which, that's how you get the reverb and stuff that I was telling you in the previous mix. So first thing is, let's go to patch effects. Okay, and this is where all the tones go through. And I have just a standard EQ, and the low frequency I leave it at 400. Mid frequency, I'm just gonna list these numbers off so you can copy, and then feel free to just go back and you can manipulate and change the mixes to match whatever you're trying to get to. So I have the mids at 1000 hertz, mid 2 at 2000, high at 4000 hertz, and then output is 127. The gain I just have at 6 plus decibels. For the low. Mids, I have no gain here. High, I gained that to 6 degrees as well. And these values, I just left at 0.5. All right. And that's about it. You can see all my other levels here for my effects, depending on where your output goes. All right, so now that you have that as a reference, we're going to go straight to F7, which is mastering. I'm not going to go too in depth with like chorus and reverb in terms of levels, because again, it's all up to you, like how much you want to add to your mixes. I'll just show you what I have for delays. You can see on the screen here, and then here's my reverb. Okay. Now, mastering, this is the most important part of your mix. Is going to give it the final touches that makes it sound live and authentic. So what you want is, first, you want to do this split low frequency at 200 hertz. Okay. And then split your high frequencies at 2500 hertz. And then from there, I'm just going to list the numbers. For the high section, you don't want to add too much stuff to your master, by the way. If you really have to do drastic changes, know that it's probably in your mix something that you didn't mix properly and that you need to go back and fix. But highs, I have at 50 for the attack. Release is at 50. Threshold at -31. And then leave the ratio at 1.00 to 1, and then leave the level at 19. For your mids, leave the attack at 20. Release, leave that at 72. Threshold, -24. Ratio at 1.25 to 1, and then level at 9. And then your low, you want to leave the attack at 37, release at 79, threshold at -24, leave your ratio at 3.20 to 1, and then leave your level at 13. So from there, you'll have a pretty decent quality mix and master. So the only thing left to do is to sample. And then after you sample, there's a very critical step which I'll show you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our song. Everything is all mixed. So you won't hear it well because, again, I'm in the microphone. But once you have that all mixed out, then you want to click the sampling button. You want to sample you want to restart your song from the beginning, because now we're preparing it to be the final track, which is what people are gonna listen and dance to. Hopefully, if your music is, you want people to dance to your music. So go to sampling, click that, and then it'll tell you how much free space you want. I have a lot of samples on this, so that's why I only have like 4% free. But sometimes you have to create new space. And it's always important to have memory, a memory drive for your keyboard. If it's Phantom, I have a thumb drive. Or if you're on a laptop, use an external hard drive. Very smart. And then we're going to do what's called resampling. So we're going to have the Phantom resample itself. excuse me. So click on resampling, and then there's this really cool feature that's called auto trig. So whenever it hears a sound from the keyboard, it'll start recording. Okay, but before we do that, you want to make sure there's sound coming, and you can test it out. Now here's an important thing. You remember how I told you to avoid clipping, but when you're doing the final master of your track, it's important to have a little bit of clipping. A little bit of clipping is just right. The whole point of clipping is you know it tells you where your limit is. But with the song, you want to go above the limit just a little bit. And if you don't know what clipping is, it's when you see the red signal on your levels here, like right here. You see, I'll put the volume down. You'll see that when the song is playing, there are some times where it goes to the red zone, which is telling you where the speaker can't, it can't compensate for the level of sound that's coming through it. And that's when you hear these buzzy, fuzzy sounds. And you don't want that too much. But just a little bit of clipping will tell you where you need to be at. And that's good for your master track. Okay? So just keep everything straightforward. We're just going to leave it at stereo. Everything is going to be fine. So I'm going to restart the song again. Okay? And then we're just going to do auto trig. And then from there, you're going to hit play, and it should start recording. Actually, no, I think I did a mistake here. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's more like it. All right. So let's go back. Hit resampling, auto trig, and then restart, and then hit. You see, now it says now sampling. That means it's sampling the song. So I'm just gonna stop it, hit stop, because I'm not doing the final mix again. But you know, in your real song, you would just let that play through. If it's like a 4-minute song, 5-minute song, whatever, let that play through, and it'll show on the screen when it's all done. You hit stop, and then from there, it'll show you this. But you're not done yet. So this is a very important step. This is something if you don't do, your song is not going to sound good. So you have to go here to F3 modify, because this is a sample, right? It's going to be a WAV file. You want to normalize it. Always normalize it, and it's going to give it the final mix touch that you need to make the boost of the song better. So hit that, select, hit overwrite, so it overwrites the sample that you did, and then you hit execute. And then it's going to say, are you sure? Say okay. Very important step. And then from there, you're not done yet. You have to save. So you want to hit right, the red button here, hit select sample, and then you can name your sample whatever you want, and then hit OK. So when is it hit OK, and then hit write. So once you write it, it's going to be stored on either your thumb drive or your keyboard, which I wouldn't recommend you do. Always use a thumb drive if you can. So once it's saved on your thumb drive, you can connect that to your computer, and you can do whatever you want with it. You know, you can share it online, you can post it on YouTube, you can share it with your friends on Facebook, Instagram. You can, you know, put it on a CD track like iTunes and burn it on a disc. You can do whatever you want, and it'll sound really good. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. It was a 2-part video. It was just too much to fit into one. I have more stuff coming for you as usual. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you. Keep it locked. Alright, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe and share with your friends. Also like the video. If you want to follow me, you can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at pititgou. Thank you. Keep it locked.